Yeah, it's an emergency. I need a great setting to film this video. Of course it's an emergency. Okay, second video ever, totally from the stairwell in Bally's. Link to the other one at the top of the screen right now. Today, I wanted to tell you about how I decide to take time off from poker. And the best way I figured out was totally by accident, actually. So in 2015 and 16, when I lived here, I played like every single day, which wasn't great. My goal at the time was not actually maximizing hours, but still, I could have played more and I had a bad system. I thought, you know, you go out, you play every day, but there are days where you just don't feel like playing. After playing so many days in a row, you don't feel like playing a lot. And a lot of days were actually a small number of hours. And it wasn't really a great way to play a lot and make as much money as I could have. So that's what I did in 2015 and 16, and it wasn't great. The best way I came up with, because law school was like, you just play on the weekends. When you have free time, you go and you play. There wasn't a lot to it in law school. But in 2021, totally by accident, I discovered a pretty good way for me. I'm not saying this is great for everyone, but it's a very good system for me. So in 2021, I came to Vegas. I had 9 or 10 days booked at Harrah's. Wasn't actually thrilled about playing Vegas because I had just played a lot at the end of 2020, autumn 2020, in the Baltimore area. Games were amazing, but you see the same people every day for like 4 or 5 months, and I needed a change. So I came to Vegas, wasn't thrilled about it. And while I was here, WinStar announced they were reopening. After over a year, they finally announced they were reopening the poker room. So I went to I booked instantly rooms in the area, and after those 10 days at Harrah's, I went to WinStar. I started in WinStar an unpublicized 1,000 hours in 100 days challenge. I didn't have a channel at the time. I think there was one other person in the world who knew I was doing it, but my goal was to spend 100 days in Oklahoma playing WinStar, all for that challenge, and then move somewhere else. Because I had been in Oklahoma in summer 2019 for 26 days. I think I averaged like 9 hours, 48 minutes per day. Games were great, I was playing well also. Runouts were helping me also, but it was really good. I liked it a lot. So I thought it would be the same. Well, it wasn't the same. It was tougher to get rooms in WinStar. The motel I liked down the interstate was under different management. It wasn't as cheap, it wasn't as clean. The next motel that was decent was actually pretty far away. Airbnbs, there's not really residences in Thackerville, Oklahoma. So the Airbnbs that were closest were in Denton, where the University of North Texas is. And it's not that close. Now, it is all interstate, there's barely any lights, and you could go like 85 miles an hour and not get a ticket. But I really didn't want to drive like 80, 90 miles every single day. So I spent about half the time there. My last 2 stays were, I think, 9 nights in a motel, and then somehow I got 5 at WinStar, which was tough to get more than 2 in 1 week. Somehow I got 5 at a very good rate. So I checked in to that motel for 9 days, and I just really didn't like it. So I played those 9 days, because when you're in a poor room, you don't want to spend a lot of time there, you'd rather be in the casino. So I played those 9 days, but I wasn't making any more reservations after the WinStar reservation. So I'm like, all right, I'll play these 9 days, I'll play the 5 days I'm in WinStar, and then that's it, I'll go to another city. So that day I changed rooms, it was a Sunday, I check out of the motel, and I'm between rooms for like 4 hours. I play for about 4 hours. I check in to that room in WinStar. It was so nice to finally have total privacy, unlike the Airbnb, to finally have a very modern, a very clean room. Floor 10, I'm halfway down. Just as soon as I opened the door to my room, all those nice features hit me at once, and I didn't play. I didn't play anymore that day. Sunday, after I checked in, I did not play anymore. Monday, I did not play. Tuesday, I did not play. Wednesday, I wanted to cook something in my room. I wanted grilled chicken. Weird comp system in WinStar. You have to play at least 4 hours each day to get a comp. So I'm like, I'll play 4 hours. And I was just mentally checked out. After about half an hour, I couldn't take it, and I went back to my room and cooked what I was cooking without the chicken. And then Thursday did not play. So just really took 5 days off after playing a ton for 7 weeks. And then I drove back to Vegas. Interesting story on the way back. So I check out Friday morning, and Friday I drive from Thackerville to Albuquerque. Saturday morning I wake up in Albuquerque. Now at the time Bally's had a weekly free roll. You had to play at least 8 hours. Different amounts of hours got you different amounts of chips in the Sunday evening free roll. Well, Saturday morning I wake up in Albuquerque. It's day 6 of the week. In order to qualify for the free roll, I woke up 2 states away. I qualified for the free roll with the minimum amount of chips, played it Sunday evening, cashed in the free roll. Actually bubbled a pay jump. But anyway, that was an interesting story on the way back to Vegas. Got back to Vegas, even though I didn't play for 5 days and I spent like a day and a half driving from Oklahoma to Nevada. Kept going with the 1,000 hours and 100 days challenge. And I remember getting back to Vegas and saying so on a Trooper video. I needed like 12-hour days until the 100th day was done. Well, I didn't play that much, but I did break 900. I got 900 hours, 3 minutes in 100 days, which included barely playing for those final 5 days in Oklahoma and spending a day and a half driving from Oklahoma to Nevada. But the challenge was done, and that was a lot of hours in another like 7-week stretch. I wanted another break, so I booked 4 days in Laughlin, Nevada. Had never been there. Kind of interesting, kind of older crowd. Didn't play poker. I'm not even sure if games were really going, but sat on the shore and did some hiking one day. Anyway, it was a nice relaxing rest. Then I went back to Vegas. The World Series of Poker was postponed because of Corona. It was in October. So I had about 7 weeks left again until the World Series started. And I don't really like playing during the World Series. So that was it for me for the year. When the World Series started in early October, I drove back to New York, and that was it. So by chance, in 2021, I played a ton for 7 weeks, and then took like 5 days off. And I kept doing that back and forth, and that was actually a really good system. So last year I didn't do it, because when I was about to take my first break, I had just started the channel, and I instantly, it was a bad idea, but I instantly decided to do the 1,000 hours in 100 days challenge. And I didn't take days off until I was in Council Bluffs in June. Those were days off from poker. They were not really days off from everything, because I had a lot to do for the channel. I was new to video editing and filming, and I was still learning a lot of stuff. So those were days filled with other tasks, not necessarily poker. And then kept playing a ton. The road trip through North Dakota, South Dakota, and Idaho, yes, there was no poker, but there was a lot of waking up early, a lot of things I wanted to hit while I was in those states, a lot of driving. So it was not time off from everything, it was time off from poker. Then I came back to town, and I didn't take 5 days off until the 100 hours in 10 days challenge, link at the top of the screen, was finished in mid-September. So I left New York to drive to Vegas January 5th, and I didn't have like 3, 4, 5 days in a row totally off from everything until mid-September. So that was way too long. So this year I'm back to doing it again. I know when I'm filming this. This is the interesting part. I'm at the bottom now. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna come out, but I'll find my way eventually. I don't know exactly when this video is going up, but for me right now, it's March 20th or 21st, and it's getting pretty close to having played a lot for like 7, 8 weeks. Now, I am gonna play the next 3 days, and then I do have 10 days in California, but I come back from California April 2nd, and I'm gonna take some time off. If things are going well, probably not instantly, but if things are going like average or poor, April 2nd, around then, I'm gonna take 5 days off, totally do nothing for the channel, nothing poker hours related. Basically just gonna hang out in the room, sleep with no alarm, cook a lot of jambalaya in the room, and watch, you know, Seinfeld in the middle of the night on TBS or whatever channel it's on around here. So that's how I decided to take time off from poker. I remember a grad school professor of mine when I first moved out here in 2015 saying, play the 4 weekend days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then take off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's way too much time off. I don't need to do it like that. That might work for some people, doesn't work for me. I don't need it that frequently, but I do need it more frequently than going from January to mid-September, never really having a few days off. So every 7-8 weeks after playing a lot of poker, take like 4 or 5 days totally off from everything. That's how I do it. Bottom of the stairwell, let's see where I come out. I am in the Uber area. Not really much of a sidewalk right here, but I'm in the Uber area. I know exactly where I am. Gonna head that way, and that's it for the video.